everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here doing another Kaladesh Draft League. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed and like the videos. Thank you so much. Check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/Inez27. Oh my god, Verdurous Gear Hulk. Yeah, we know this card's good, right? And I think it's worth a small fortune. Well, small fortune, perhaps it's gone down, but actually I guess we can... At the time of this video, Verdurous Gear Hulk costs... Oh, it actually did go down quite a bit. It's only about 5.5 tickets. What else do we have in here? Fairgrounds Warden, Brazen Scourge, Armorcraft Judge. Been pretty impressed with this Judge. Even if you only draw one card off of it, it's doing its job. And I've seen people draw upwards of 3 cards off it, in which case it's insane. So, cool card. All right, Gear Hulk, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, so follow-up pick. Well, Riparian Tiger seems fine. I mean, we definitely want to play green. There's a Whirler Virtuoso in here, which is probably stronger, but... and a Chief of the Foundry, which leaves you more open. But, I mean, taking a Riparian Tiger here is fine. This card is very good. Good in-game. There's also a Narnum Cobra, which would be good. I mean, is it that the Chief is just better than the Tiger because it's cheaper and it affects a bunch of creatures in the format? Maybe. Still kind of just want to cut the green card. And I definitely want to take Tiger over Cobra, I think. Good cards in here, though. Yeah, Chief, Whirler, Crane, Tradewinds, Artisan. All of those are good. Pretty much all the top row. Pretty nice. Well, let's take this Tiger. Let us pluck this Tiger. Ooh, another Tiger and a Nature's Way? Well, this time I'm going to take the Nature's Way because I like removal. Anything else good in here? Some blue cards. Quite a few blue cards. But nothing insane otherwise. Another Tiger, of course, but we'll take the Nature's Way. Okay. So now we have Appetite, which I like. Prowler, probably don't need it. And Seed Sculptor. I'd probably take the Appetite over the Seed Sculptor. I really like this card, by the way. Seed Sculptor is very good. And it has good synergies with, like, that Judge. Maybe even a couple other things, but we'll take the Appetite. I know that you can main deck this card, and I think it's a pretty solid removal spell most of the time, so let's do it. Alright, so what is the pick now? I like Wild Wanderer. It also cuts the last green card from here, which I think is good. We can take the Decoction Module. Gives us a little Riparian Tiger synergy later. It works with other modules. Construct is fine. Probably don't need it. I might just take the Wanderer. I like that it ramps and fixes. Lets you splash. Decoction Module is fine, though. I like that it lets you bounce your creature so it can get your creature out of sticky situations. I guess it does have some pretty good synergy with Verdurous Gear Hulk. 5 mana, just get 4+1/+1 counters wherever you want. That really isn't bad. In fact, I would argue it is good. But I'm going to take the last remaining green card from here over the Pioneer. We're just going to cut green real hard and see if we can make that pan out for us. So... I don't think Engineered Might is particularly good. Attune with Aether is good. You know, it lets you fix. Gear Seeker Serpent is definitely good, but, I mean, we're currently rocking 1 artifact creature. Larger Than Life is fine. I mean, this thing already has Trample. Both my top-end creatures already have Trample. There's a Puzzle Knot, which is like whatever. A lot of this is kind of whatever. I think we'll just take the Attune. I mean, we're like well prepared to go 2-color, but... Alright, so super late Malfunction. That might be a sign for blue because it's a pretty good removal spell. It does deal with vehicles right away, which I think is good too. Blue-green, what do they typically want to do? Well, there's a lot of, like, sort of energy stuff you can do in blue-green. I mean, it's nice to just pick up another removal spell. There's also a Foundry Screecher in here, which is good. It's not great with us currently since we just don't have a lot of artifacts. And I could just take another Wild Wanderer, but I mean, I have the one. It's probably good. I guess we'll take the Malfunction now. I don't know if it's necessarily a sign. Alright, so Salivating Gremlins, but once again, not a ton of artifacts. Could just take the Puzzle Knot. You know, if energy becomes a thing, it'll be a good card in our deck. Otherwise, it's not that good. There's a Live Fast, which is also fine. Alright, we'll take the Puzzle Knot. Ooh, super late Theorist. A very late Brazen Scourge, too. I mean, Brazen Scourge is pretty playable, but I think we'll take the Theorist. I love this card. This card's very good. And we were looking for some late blue to, you know, follow up with this Malfunction. Alright, we can take the Trade Winds. I like this card a lot, too. Protects your guy from removal. Combat tricks, can bounce something else. It's a very useful spell. I don't like having a ton of them, but I really like having one. Alright, now we'll cut the blue card, I suppose. Don't really need it, though. Alright, they can have those. Take the blue card. Alright. So, not a bad start. I'd like some more of the Powerhouse Green, though. We've got a Gearhulk and a Tiger, but I'm looking for, like, Thriving Rhino and the Tusk dude. Ooh, Master Trinketeer, geez. This card's pretty insane. Could be worth, I guess, going green-white for. I mean, this card takes games over. It's also a Fairgrounds Warden in here, geez. I mean, Gearhulk and Armorcraft Judge have some good synergy together. And there's a revoke privileges. Geez, just 3 really powerful white spells in here. Basically no good blue. I mean, there's a Trade Winds. We already have one, so I don't really... I'm not anxious to get a second one. I could just take the Judge now. This card can be really good. You can get a lot of card advantage. I could just try and swap into white because Master Trinketeer is such a good card. Just start spitting out, you know, servos all day that are 2/2s. Another Fairgrounds Warden, though. Jeez. This is difficult. I already have 4 blue cards. I'm going to take the Judge. Let's just stick to our plan that we wanted to do. I know this card is good, by the way. It's obviously not as good as those 2 white cards, but that's all right. So some decent red here. Probably just want the Aviator. This card has been actually very good. I've been impressed with it. Unfortunately, nothing else too good in here for us, but at least Aviator is good. We need Judge to be a little bit better, but we have plenty of time to find some ways to get counters, I'm sure. Well, I like Sky Whale. There's also Pima Outrider. So Outrider gives us some ways to interact with Armorcraft Judge, but Sky Whale does fly and beat down. I really like the Sky Whale. I think Outrider is very good too, though. Outrider possibly has better synergy in the deck, maybe? But Sky Whale just beats down. We don't have any evasion, so it's just nice to get some. Especially evasion that can just kill your opponent on its own. I think I'm going to take the Sky Whale. 4 power flying. I feel like this is just a real game ender. Alright, so we can take the Trumpeter. We could take the first Self-Assembler too. Yeah, I think that's all I'm looking at. Wispweaver in here, jeez. So Trumpeter, currently, I guess, doesn't really work with much of anything other than, like, the Gearhulk. We just don't have... I mean, we can start gearing up for it, I guess. But I don't mind taking an Assembler. Like, having 2 Assemblers in the deck is fine. And I guess Wild Wanderer gets us to 5 a little bit better. Means we have to get to 4 first, I guess, but... I'm not too worried about it. I don't think Trumpeter's all that good anyway. It's okay. Let's take the Assembler. Alright. take the Outrider now. It's a really nice pickup for us, so happy to take it. I see we're getting a little bit top heavy, but we can focus on cheaper stuff at some point, I'm hoping. So these are another 4-drop. The Charger, I mean, it's actually a pretty strong card, I think, but I guess there's nothing else I really want here. So we'll take it. Geez, that's a late Veteran Motorist. Could just take another Malfunction. There's also Consulate Skygate, but we'll take the Malfunction. All right, we're definitely top heavy. I get it. But you can take the Skygate here. Get a little more early game. Our late game is pretty good. Just need a little bit more early game. All right, takedown for sideboard. Took me too long to realize this is a sorcery. Jeez, that's a late Screecher. I think we'll just take the blue card again. Try and cut as much blue as we can, blue and green. I guess if I had to play a Curio Vendor, I'd be willing to. Prefer not to. But I certainly don't mind having them if I need them, even though they are pretty bad. All right, so we have a whole pack. We only need to find a couple cards. This deck definitely could use some upgrades, but I mean, we have a Verdurous Gearhulk. We've got a Tiger. I would really like a Thriving Rhino or two in here. If I could find any sort of good Armorcraft Judge synergy, I think this deck gets a lot better. So we have a whole pack to find that. I don't really need to do the Self-Assembler. I'm willing to try out Ballista Charger because, like I said, I've played against it and been fairly impressed, but it is a little bit expensive for a Crew 3 card. Ooh, Marionette Master. Well, there's a Hunt the Week in here, but I think we're going to just take the Rhino. I really wanted a Rhino. Another Longfin Skywhale, too. Jeez. Card's good, but we need to lower the curve. We have enough 4-drops. Like, I really wouldn't mind having another one, but I just need this Thriving Rhino. It's definitely better than the Turtle, even though you know how I feel about turtles. I like them. We have Hunt the Week. What's our removal currently? Nature's Way, Double Malfunction. That's honestly not that bad. And Appetite for the Unnatural. Let's just take the Rhino. We want some premium creatures. Rhino is certainly that. Still has synergy with our Armorcraft Judge, so let us take it and be happy about it. I mean, cards I'd prefer to not run right now. I don't really think we need the Puzzle Knot. Like, probably not necessary. Prefer to not do the Charger. Prefer to not run this Attune with the Aether. The Curio Vendors, Skygate, the Rebuff. There's actually quite a few cards right now I'd prefer to not play. But we'll see if we can cut all of them. Gonti, jeez. Taking the Cobra here. Actually, it's a really nice pickup for us. We were looking for some 2-drop upgrades, and Cobra certainly is that. Here's an Aether Hub. Yep. Let's take the Cobra. I'm fine with that. Ornamental Courage is fine. There's a Bastion Mastodon. I think we'll just take the Combat Trick. I've been pretty impressed with this card. 1 mana. The +3 toughness. And it still gets a power buff. Like, this card's actually just very good. Bomet Courier. Don't have red. That's not going to happen. And I probably wouldn't splash for it even with the Wanderer. I don't even know if Wanderer's going to make the deck now. Just no need to splash, really, that I can see. And we probably don't need the Mastodon. We still might do the Self-Assembler plan if I saw a second one. But let's just take Ornamental Courage. All right. So, bit of an unexciting pick here. I mean, there's Serpent, but we're just very artifact light, even if I were to play these 2 other ones. There's Puzzle Knot. Man, that's a good red removal. I guess we can take Ambition. It's not really that great either. But I guess we could use some card advantage maybe. We don't really have anything else to draw cards other than the Judge, which doesn't even really look good in the deck right now. So let's take the Ambition. Puzzle Knot is, I guess it's okay with some of the guys we have, but I guess we'll take Ambition. All right, Sky Whale late. Maybe people just don't like this card anymore. I'm okay with that. We'll take it over a Gearper Guide. Insidious Will. Yeah, I could take the Goggles, I guess. These are not Vidalcan Artificers. All right. Don't really need the Serpent. All right, I guess we'll take Insidious Will. It's another 4-drop, but I think this card's actually pretty strong. All right. Well. Ooh, Thriving Turtle. All right. That's actually a nice pickup for us. More energy rewards and stuff to do early, which is nice. Select for Inspection is actually fine. We don't need any more top end. Ooh, multiple Thriving Turtles. Okay. All right. I'm on board. Guess we'll take this. You know, I don't really... Maybe this is a better sideboard card. I probably don't need either. Take another Puzzle Knot. Okay, well, good news is I think our deck's gonna be fine. We have enough stuff going on where I think this will work just fine. And actually, I think the deck is probably good enough for Judge now. Maybe not, but we have double Turtle, Rhino. That's 3, 4 with the Outrider. Is that it? 5 with the Gear Hulk. Maybe it's not good enough. But Self-Assembler's not happening. So we already have some like ideas of cards we're going to cut. We probably don't need this counter spell. I wouldn't mind still playing the Ambition just for some form of card advantage, but we'll see if it's necessary. I'm not sure because we got to deal with these 4-drops. I think Wild Wanderer is probably out. We just have no need to splash. It's probably one of the weaker things. So let's separate here. So I think Self-Assembler's gone. We only got 1, so it's unnecessary. I might be willing to try Charger out. We'll see if I have space. Cut the Rebuff. Cut the Attune with Aether. Cut the Puzzle Knot. Kind of want to cut the Skygate. 15 creatures. Am I going to run 2 Curio Vendors? They're pretty bad, but I may run them. Maybe I cut 1. Charger kind of counts as a creature. I should at least give Charger a try. Like I said, I've been fairly impressed with that. A lot of the guys in my deck can at least activate it, which makes it a little bit better. Oh, I wanted to cut the Wanderer. Yeah, I probably should. It does crew a Charger, though. I'm so low on artifacts that Ambition might just not be good enough. Like, I only have, what, a Cobra and an Outrider and a Charger and an Aviator and a Gear Hulk. So I have, like, 5 cards. That's pretty bad. 5-mana draw 3 discard is not terrible, but it's not great either. I may just want to cut the Ambition. And then... So I can cut 1 more. Probably maybe the Vendor and keep the Wanderer. 5 4-drops, is that too much? I don't know. Charger kind of counts as like half a creature since you need a creature to activate it. So it's not always going to be a creature. I do want to try out this Insidious Will, though. I think this card is probably pretty good. You know, make their removal kill one of their guys. Like, that's big value. Or just copy an instant or sorcery if it's like, you know, make a bunch of dudes or something I can't think of right now. I mean, obviously I don't like curio vendors, but I might just play them. I guess our 4-drops are so heavy, I should probably just cut the Wanderer. This is still a lot of 4-drops. Is there any way I can bring something cheaper in? I'm not sure that I can. Or that I'd want to, really. I mean, what are my cheaper things that I'd want to play? Maybe a Skygate over, like, the Judge. Basically, because the Judge is just not going to draw me cards very often, right? 2 Turtles. We already did the count. I think it's 5 cards total, right? 2 Turtles, the Rhino, the Outrider, and the Gear Hulk. So 5 cards in my deck that interact and maybe let me draw a card or two. I don't know if that's necessarily worth it. Like, maybe we just want to make sure we're protected early because our late game is actually pretty good with the double Sky Whale. Like, we can fly over top and win. Gear Hulk is obviously going to be insane. Tiger puts games away. Aviator at least is a big board clutter. And Charger's going to be attacking every turn. So, if I can, it will be. So something like this, it looks okay. Like, we have a lot of good early defense on the ground. We don't have a lot of good flying defense, but we have removal, albeit a little bit clunky removal, but removal. And the curve looks a lot better. Okay, let's do the Skygate. I'm okay with that. And I think this deck has enough ways to win. We have some good big-time evasion, and we've got some big fat fatties, so those are all the key. And we have removal, so we have hard removal, we have fatties. We don't really have a bunch of card advantage, but we have some interesting cards to try. So I think this deck is just fine. A lot of double blue, though, and a lot of double green, which I guess makes it a little more awkward. So we'll probably just do 9-8. And call her a deck. Yeah, I think this is going to work just fine. Like I said, our curve was the main concern, but I think we worked it out. So we'll run it like this. See what we can do. We'll see you round 1.